We now gave him a thorough and detailed information about body. I said, ha! Anybody who know Edgar? I said, ha! Okay. I will now inform the area commander that we will do the operation. Look, the leaders of OBC and some of my men in the state of Okada will know the day we strike. The day we want to strike, there was a collaboration between our group and Lagos State Police Command. He now called me that day, Otuba, you I want part of you leading an operation like that. Anything you need, half a day, he will do it for you. You know, Edgar was part and parcel of the operation. And in the first operation, they arrest about 300 people. 300 people. After that, the second operation, 250 people. They now set a panel to exonerate the innocent people out of it. By the time they took about 70 people to court on the issue of Badoo, that's the head of Badoo in Lagos State.
A tún ti gbé mi èdè gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe tiwa. Èyí tí mo wá gbédè yìí ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwọn agbègbè àti láwọn ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan ni. Bó bá ti ya yín àròyẹnu tèmi kọ́ lẹ fẹ́ gbọ́. Ẹ já lọ gbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu àwọn tó ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ yìí. Bàbá wa padà dé ká tẹ̀síwájú lórí ètò ó ti yá.
For the issue of sincerity, security is about sincerity. For you to have effective security, there must be a sincerity on the team players. By giving an information, intel, to the security officer, and you gave him the information or her, and you have the confidence that the information given to him or her, he will not inform the criminal to come and bounce on you. That was what impeded many Nigerians to give information to some of our security agencies. That was the fear. In most of the countries, I've traveled to about 58 countries. And most of the retirees, the old people, apart from sitting in the front of their house, they gather intelligence to the security agency of their country because of patriotism. And what led to this patriotism is that an old person cannot be hungry in Western world. If he can't work again, there will be an incentive being given to he or she to sustain his or her own life. If you don't have a sound head, there's a whole people's home that will cater for that. Your family did not need to cater for that. And in that basis, the shelter is the number one priority of the Western world. On that basis, that person will be patriotic to that country in one way or the other. In a situation you are being denied some opportunity as a citizen of a country, it will be extremely difficult for you to be patriotic to that nation. You may not be patriotic at the end of the day. It may affect your future. It may cost you your whole life in the process. But sentimentally, you said you will not divulge this information because I don't believe in our leadership. So the issue of security is about sincerity, is about security. The issue of structure is another major problem to Nigerian security. Not only Nigerian security, the entire problem of this country. Because Yorùbá also pé only tí pilẹ̀ ṣe bá bàjẹ́ kí ló lódodo á sọ. When the foundation is faulty, what can you build on that foundation? In a situation we couldn't have a very good structure based on our population, based on our diversity, definitely it will affect every organs of government. Economically, security-wise, even policy-wise sometimes. The issue of ethnicity sentiments will arise because we couldn't run a proper structure that gave birth to our independence in 1960. We have a constitution that we agreed together to be a one country by then in 1960. In 1963, our political father by then sat and write a very good constitution, which is 1963 Constitution. And the 1963 Constitution reflects and respects every ethnic nationality interest. But the military came on board in 1966 and truncate that constitution and bring us back from federalism to a unitary system of government, which negate our ethnicity and negate our population. There is no country in the world that can have a good governance with a population of 200 million, and you are using unitary system or a centralist-minded constitution. Coming back to 1979 Constitution, they started this serious problem through the 1979 Constitution. They tried to amend that Constitution, and by 1999 Constitution, they now bring a centralist-minded Constitution that truncates our federalism. And that was the beginning of the problem of Nigeria. We are talking about Nigerian police. There is little Nigerian police can do, because Nigerian police was centrally controlled from Abuja, and the IG can post anybody to Lagos, even though he doesn't have the capacity. In as much he is my boy in the corridor of power as IG. But in a situation that when we go back to how we started this country on the basis of 1960 or 1963, I'm not saying we should go back to entire 1963, but we can make some amendment that will be like 1963 Constitution, that we have 4 tiers of government: federal, region, state, and local government. The federal, we have their own security, which is the Nigerian police. The regional, we have their own police. The state, which is the governor, they perceive as a chief security officer in 1999 Constitution, and he was not the chief security officer. The state government, we have their own security, and the local government, we have their own security. There won't be a room for rivalry. There will be a room for jurisdiction. The local government police will handle the issue of crime, a petty crime in the local government. The issue of homicide, the issue of illegal arms possession, and some issues will be handled by state and regional. The issue of political, anything that can affect the entire nation, will be handled by federal police. By then, I believe if you have this kind of structure, within 3 years, we forget about the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. If you don't do it, we are wasting time. We will continue blaming Nigerian police. I will give you a very good example that back up my own suggestion. When I was installed as the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò in 2018, January 13, 2018, I now called some of my strategy. What would I do in my time as Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò? There was a lot of insecurity in Yoruba land. I can call it security threat. Fulani headsmen dominate most of our community, especially in Oyo State, Ondo State, and Ekiti State. And I suggest, I wrote a letter to all governors in Southwest. The content of that letter is that there is need for Southwest Security Summit. And I copied all the Council of Urbans. The letter was 2 pages. I sent it to all the governors. For about 3 weeks, there's no response. 4 weeks, there's no response. 5 weeks, there's no response. I know how politicians behave. If you don't copy the media, what you wrote to them, they will deny it. And I now copy that letter, I syndicate it to the media. It go viral. Some of the media now said, I write a reminder. After 1 month, I wrote a reminder to remind them about the letter I sent to them. There was no response. I'm now going to the media to expatiate what I mean by Southwest, that we need Southwest Security Summit. After 1 year, 1 month, the government agreed to organize Southwest Security Summit. I was there. The Southwest Security Summit, they now constitute 27 members of committee. The members of the 7 members of committee came back to the Amotekun we have in Southwest today. When you are hearing about Amotekun, people don't know where it starts from. It gave back to that Amotekun we have in Southwest today. Although we still have some pockets of security threats, but bringing Amotekun to our security architecture, I've even assisted Nigerian police. I like what my brother said about synergy between the Nigerian police and even the indigenous and private police. He made a reference towards it. The issue of security is not a business of one structure. All hands must be on deck. But if we want to overhaul the security, we need to overhaul our structure, political structure. The political structure, we have an organ of security that will balance the issue of security in Nigeria. The issue of Bado, I'm happy Ita Kone brought it on board. Bado issue was a serious threat to part of Lagos and Ogun State. The Deputy Commissioner of Police by then later gave him Commissioner of Police of Lagos State. Edgar. Is somebody to State Command, Lagos State Police Command, headquarters. When I say I was Otumba by then, I was not an. He said, Otumba, we need your help. I said, what help? He said, the issue of Bado is giving us sleepless night. I laughed. I said, I couldn't even know that he can speak Yoruba fluently. What of the enemy? And the CP went for lesser hard by then. And I said, okay. Do you want us to come on board? He said, yes. Okay. I think we postpone this meeting. We can't discuss it now. He said, why? Those who will give you information about Badu is not here. You just call the principal. We have a structure. Let me invite them. In 2 days' time, they will be here with me. And you will now hear details of information about Badu. Those behind it will know. 2 days after, we reconvene in the state headquarters. We hold a meeting for 4 hours. We lost Idi. It was the arrowhead of that operation by then. We now gave him a thorough and detailed information about Body. I said, anybody who know Edgar? I said, okay. I will now inform the area commander that we will do the operation. Look, the leaders of OPC and some of my men in the state of Okada will know the day we strike. The day we want to strike, there was a collaboration between our group and Lagos State Police Command. He now called me that Otuba, you I want part of you leading an operation like that. Anything you need, half Idi, he will do it for you. You know, was part and parcel of the operation. And in the first operation, they arrest about 300 people. 300 people. After that, the second operation, 250 people. To now set a panel to exonerate the innocent people out of it. By the time they took about 70 people to court on the issue of Badu, that's the head of Badu in Lagos State. So without collaboration, if there's no restructuring here, without collaboration, there's nothing you can do. And that was one of the reasons I bring different groups which have the tendency of security relevance in Yoruba land. Almost all of them are represented here. If you want to call the police, it's another process. My entire CP to this gathering. By the time you write the CP will have you to come and do a meeting with him. When you do a meeting with CP will need clearance from first headquarters. And if you are waiting for the police and DSS in this conference, 3 months will not hold it. Because the CP would like to get the clearance from the IG. DSS would like to get the clearance from the Director General of DSS. And this conference, as far as it is, we need it now. And also good we have, last year I was in Niger Island. It was a small country, but very organized. The road of Niger Island, when you see it, you will be thinking that maybe you will use your lips to be cleaning it. As clean as it is. If I look at my own latitude, which is Dotto, and Sonny was talking about giving a submission that just 17 million people. 2022, they sold agricultural products of almost 100 billion euro. We are talking of dollars. It's euro they are spending there. And how much converted our budget into dollars? We have a budget of just about 29 trillion now. When you are talking of 29 trillion, when you converted it to euro, it can't be more than 25 billion euro. Yes, by now. And when we have a country of 17 million people, only agriculture, 110 billion euro on only agriculture. Not talking about ports and other things, not talking about tax. So we still have a long way to go in this country. The fellow speaker in the panels have said it all. That for us to achieve all these things, we need truth and honesty and zero tolerance of corruption to have a great nation. And we have to correct the issue of structural imbalance to be a great nation. If not, we continue on rhetoric. We'll be calling a conference without achieving anything if we don't restructure Nigeria. I mean, Yoruba person, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is Yoruba man. But I will continue telling him, no matter the advantage people may have in the mind that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Yoruba person, we continue telling him that restructure this country before you leave that power. If you don't restructure this country, we still be in bondage when you leave that power. Either you have an opportunity to stay there in 8 years. If you don't solve this problem once and for all, we continue being in the bondage of this country, security-wise, economy-wise. And the issue of having a bad image in international community. When you get to any port of entry, by the time you present your passport as a Nigerian passport, they will scrutinize you as if you want to apply for visa again. But a country like Tanzania, a country like Ghana, when they come here to see them, they just stamp it and they let them go. How long will we continue with that kind of image as a citizen of this country? So we don't need to japa. We have to stay here and resolve our issue once and for all. Thank you. Nàìjíríà ní ìlú Ọlọ́run ò fẹ́ rọ́, èèyàn ò fẹ́ òdodo. When you are working in an environment like what our Deputy Commissioner of Police have said now, when the issue of rule of law is not important, there is limits local security can do. Even some of these retired CP, they want to be details of their experience. There are some cases in their hand that if they want to have the power that will come further from above, drop it when they are in service. Talking of just OPC as an organization, you can imagine what OPC passed through in 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003. By the time we realize that if we don't mellow down as an organization, they will tag the group as terrorists. It got to a state that the state attacked us as enemy. Although some of our members take law into their hands. But there's some good job being done by our members in the group by then, that some agencies of government are not happy with it. The power that be by them was not happy with it. So we realize that the way we are going, if we don't diversify our struggle, we will be destroyed. So by then, we now diversify. That was the time we play more priority to cultural promotion. Our activities was 70% a struggle of OPC. 30% a struggle of OPC, 70% was cultural promotion. And we told our member, before you involve in any private security, go and inform the DPO or the area commander of that area, so that at the end of the day, you will not be the enemy of the police. So anything you see on OPC today is as a result of our approach from the beginning, that the power that we did not want, we have to mellow down and play along their tune for us to be in existence. And we are talking of OPC. We have about 11 different groups here. Agbekoya, two different vigilante groups. And about 80 or 90% of them migrated from OPC to form those groups. When they left OPC in that platform and formed their group, they met the same problem too. Okay, I'll give you another example. During the struggle of Igbo on self-determination issues, there was a criminal in Ibarapa who coordinated kidnapping. And the name of that person is Wakili. It was a terror that by then, by those who said they are fighting self-determination, they can't arrest him. And I remain on my share because you didn't call me to involve. If you don't call me to involve in anything, I will jump the gun at the end of it so that I don't blame myself. After 3 months, they said that Wakili disappeared. I want to interact with is in this soil, Yoruba land? The leader now comes to me and said, you are the area of Yoruba land. What can you do about Wakili? I said, give me 3 weeks. I will arrest Wakili. If you go with it, you see, give me just 3 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we arrest the second in command in Bora. 2 days to that 3 weeks, we capture Wakili. But I can tell you, I won't tell you there's nothing impossible on the issue of security, but we can try at the limit of 70 to 80%. If we have a maximum cooperation of the government. Adesekola told me one thing. He said, he feared three things in life. Late Adesekola. He said the three things is capital G. I said, what is the three things? He said, one is God. He said the second one is government. The third one is God. And I said, three things. So even though you are a freedom fighter, if you don't apply strategy to your struggle, the government will destroy you. If they can't kill you, if they don't have way to kill you, they will destroy your name. So you have to be very careful. A good example, assuming the way we started, the temple we started as OPC, if we continue from the way we operated in 2000 till now, you people will not come to this conference if we invite you. Because of the hostility. So we have to re-strategize so that we can bring some people on board to fight intellectual struggle. Yoruba is always used to intellectual struggle. Our own pattern of struggle is different from Niger Delta, where Sonny Opele comes from. Our own pattern of struggle is different from Niger Delta. And if you are fighting for any race or tribe, if you don't study your terrain, you will destroy yourself. So when you say, look, don't push me anyhow. Like the way you push some people to exile. Let me apply the technique. Let me apply the technique and work the way you want in their own struggle, so that I can achieve my aim and be in life when the glory comes. I will say it in Yoruba land. Yoruba bá sọ pé ogun máa yọ̀dà o, ẹ̀yìn ogun pa àfàgbé. Ogun máa yọ̀dà o, ẹ̀yìn ogun pa àfàgbé. By then, those who are going to war, they are about 500. And the hours of trekking to the destination of that war was 2 hours. By the time the population of 500 warriors, when you move within 30 minutes, by the time you look your back, 100 people have left you. They have run away. By the time you move in another 30 minutes, another 150 people have left you. By the time you get to destination, you will not be up to 70 people that will fight that war. That's the one for you. Some people will sit down in their comfort home without giving you money, without giving you hands, without giving you connection. They'll say, go and fight war for us. Which is quite different from the Niger Delta. The Niger Delta will do boundary and raise money. They will get sophisticated weapons. They will have money. They will have currency. And they will have their own domain. They call it camp. Which police and army cannot even reach there. And fight their struggle conveniently. And in Niger Delta, a freedom fighter is an hero. But in Yoruba land, a freedom fighter is a criminal to some people. There was a day I was going to the house of the former president. They were showing me the house of the militant in Niger Delta. Before I get to Toke, from Bayelsa Yenegua to Toke, I saw about 7 or 10 different houses. No one of the houses worth nothing less than 700 million naira. Those are the militants, you don't even know their name. You can't even see their name in the newspaper. But in Nigeria, in Yoruba, I'm sorry, if they know that you have a house of 500 million naira, why do you want to know here? Only or the compromise. They will tell you are compromised because you are rich. They will tell you are compromised because you are convenient. They will tell you are compromised because you send your children to good schools. That's Yoruba for you. You have to be very careful when you are fighting for Yoruba people. We are talking about the local security. The power is still there. I know what you are saying. You are talking diplomatically. The power is still there. Even CP has his own. Everybody has his own. When the ships are down, the power will come out. You don't know the powerful people when there is no war or crisis in Yoruba land. Only àgbà tó lómi inú kì í dún nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àgbófinró ló máa ń dún. And it doesn't have power in Yoruba land. Those who have power don't talk too much. So when you are talking of that power, if they call them upon, we have, after I became an
tó ẹ mà káàbọ̀ o títí wá dìgbà míì táwọn ìjọba àfojúrin lórí ìkànnì Wo TV pẹ̀lú àkọ́tún ètò gbáǹkọ́gbì míì ẹ ti mọ̀ mí kí n má wulẹ̀ dárúkọ ara mi mọ́ èmi ń lọ mò ń padà bọ̀ ẹ̀yin náà ẹ má kó lórí ìkànnì Wo TV àmọ́ ẹ má bá mi like ẹ má share kẹ́dẹ̀ má subscribe títí wá dìgbà yẹn ń kọ́ ire o.